Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming back at you with a Let's Talk D&D 5th Edition video. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to review and my first impressions of the D&D magic item cards that I just got yesterday. Okay. This card set is pretty bulky. This is a bigger set than I'm used to. Like maybe the arcane spells are about the same size, but like the paladin spells and things like that are not as big as this. But you get two sizable decks in this. Now it's a Gale Force 9 product. They did a really good job on this, but there are some concerns and some points that I want to make about this because I am disappointed. I'm mildly disappointed. Okay, so but I'm happy about the purchase. So I don't know how to say that. I'm happy about the purchase, but I just wish it was a little bit different. How about that? All right, now just to give you a little context, I'm a referee that likes to give my players equipment cards. Like I'll give them a flask, or I'll give them a tankard, or if they have a playing card set, I'll give them one of those, a dice set, or maybe if they've got bagpipes, or maybe they're wearing chainmail, right? Or maybe they just use as a weapon like a battle axe. I have quite a few cards that I've printed, and what each of these cards is what it is, right? It's a battle axe on the picture. It's a battle axe in the title. It tells you everything you need to know. It's a martial melee weapon, how many gold pieces it costs to purchase, how much damage it does, and anything on the bottom that might be a special rule, like how much it weighs. And it's versatile, and because it's versatile, it could do a D10 damage, that kind of stuff. And like this chainmail, tells you how much it weighs, tells you the armor class, stealth disadvantage, strength requirements, right? And it tells you anything it includes. Like this says it includes gauntlets. This is all taken from the player's handbook, right? 75 gold. I give my players these, for everything they own. They almost don't need to keep track of their inventory because their inventory is all in card form. What this does, what this helps them do, is track their encumbrance, so they can actually keep track of how much weight they're carrying just based on looking at the cards. And also, if they're not sure that a crowbar gives you advantage, they can look at the crowbar and it'll say, hey, it gives me advantage, strength athletics checks, or vice versa, or whatever. Like that axe shows that it's versatile and how much damage it does. A lot of quick reference information's on these. Okay, and so I got the magic item cards hoping that it would be similar to these in the fact that as the players discover or find magic items, I can hand them the card and it'll show what they do. In the past, what I have done as a dungeon master is gone to the player's handbook or the dungeon master's guide, find the magic item, and then I would copy and paste whatever that weapon is and print it and hand it to the players. So the players would have a sheet of paper or something that explained what their magic item could do. I thought that getting these would alleviate any of my printing. I wouldn't have to do any printing, and I wouldn't have to go look it up, copy and paste, and it would be the same size and functionality of these cards. Okay, so let's take a look at what I actually got. The box is pretty good, right? It's one of those black textured boxes. It's got kind of that, I don't know what feel that is. It's like a rough feel to it, a non-gloss. Flaming sword, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and then it shows a bunch what the cards might look like in the back. And there's 292 durable, laminated. I don't know. We'll have to take a look. Now I'm going to open it from the bottom because when I got my box, it came with the bottom already open. I mean, it was wide open like this when I received it. each of these sides, you can see that's a lot of cards. Each of these sides was shrink wrapped. Each one had its own shrink wrapping. Now I've already unshrunk. I already cut the shrink wrap off and looked through a few of these cards. But we're going to set that over here, and we're going to set that over there. Okay, I know there's a lot of glare on that, and you can't really see, any of that stuff. But that's fine. We're gonna hold it up over here so you can see. All right, so let's just take the first stack. Now I'm not going to be able to go through every single one of these because there's almost 300 cards, and I'm not going to spend 300 minutes explaining all this. But let me show you some things. These are kind of sticky. Like right now, I'm pulling this. I'm using my thumb. I'm pulling on this card, and it's like they're glued together, right? Like, okay, just as an example, these cards right here, they're all stuck together. Is that a bad thing? No, because with use, that's going to come apart. That's not going to be a problem, right? And what I plan to do is take every single one of these cards, put them in a card sleeve, and put them in a card case, a card box or whatever. Actually, I've got some white card boxes I'm probably going to put them in. I'm going to separate them by like what kind of magic they are, whatever. Okay, so we got the Ever Smoking Bottle. That's a pretty cool picture, Ever Smoking Bottle. I think they went through the various books, found the magic items, and found whatever picture they could find that pertained to that magic item, and they put it on there. That looks pretty cool. Now, when you go to the back side, you get like what it can do, what its rarity is. It's uncommon, wondrous item, and gives you its abilities, like what it can do. Now, okay, skipping over. Okay, these are Eyes of Charming, right? They look like glasses that you would wear. But these are Eyes of Minute Seeing, which actually one of my players has this magic item, actually. This is a generic picture. You'll notice that a lot of magic items will have this picture. It's like a default. Maybe because you could find this picture in the player's handbook or the DMG. You could not find the Eyes of Minute Seeing. I think they should have just taken this picture and put it on there. Or just any kind of sunglasses or any kind of glasses at all. It would have been a lot better. Here's the Eyes of the Eagle. That's cool. Or maybe came up with their own unique art. Figurine of Wonders. There's a golden lion, ivory goats, marble elephant. Okay, obsidian steed, onyx serpentine. Great. Flame tongue. And remember, you get these. It doesn't really say much on the front. It's just a picture and the title. But on the back side, it gives you all the details of what it can do. And this is weapon, any sword. Perfect. Okay, but there's a couple of other things I did want to point out. A lot of these are... Okay, here we go. Glamorous studded leather. Does that look like studded leather? No, that looks like plate armor and a shield. Right? That is a generic picture. That is a picture they use for any armor that they don't have a picture for. Gloves of missile snaring. Perfect, right? But there's gloves of swimming and climbing. That's a spell book. Same thing right here. Gloves of thievery. You couldn't just take a picture of some gloves, some leather gloves, and just put it on there. Okay, I'm sorry. That's the thing that I'm disappointed with. Is I have no problem with the fine print. Okay, you see the font on this? That is super small. First of all, I'm an old man, and I wear glasses. I can read that if I have my reading glasses, and I'm sure the young kids that play nowadays have no problem reading that. But us old fogies, we have a hard time reading this. You could easily have now what's kind of cool is it's the same font on every card. The downside is they could have thought this through, increased the font, and filled up this blank space. Double the font, maybe take up twice as much of the card. made some of these a little bit easier to read. Like, look how much space that takes up. Nothing. Now, on stuff like that, I understand why it has small font, because it has a lot of abilities. I get that. I do get that. Okay, I'm mixing these up. I'm messing it up. There we go. And it doesn't matter. I don't think they were really alphabetized in the first place. There's a haversack. That's pretty cool, because that's an actual haversack. Yeah. Holy Avenger. That looks cool. Horn of Blasting. Horn of Valhalla. Horseshoes. That's not a horseshoe. Okay, now it kind of gives you I like the musical instruments, how they kind of, that's a movable rod, but that's cool. This is a harp. Because, see, some of the young players, they don't know what a lyre is or a mandolin. They don't know those things. They have to Google it to find out what that is. Here's a lyre, you know, and a das lute, and a I don't even know what that is. Instrument of the Bards. It's a Folkluken Bandor. Okay, whatever. You know, so even I'm learning what some of these. And, okay. These are Ioun stones. I get it. They're just gems. That's cool. And there's a bunch of different Ioun stones. They used every Ioun stone for every Ioun stone magic item. So they should have picked one of those and put it on the awareness, and picked one of these and put it on the fortitude, and picked one of these and put it on greater absorption, and insight, and intellect, and leadership, and mastery, and protection, and regeneration. But there's more options than there are pictures, so I guess they just jumbled them all together. Iron bands, and iron flask, and javelin of lightning, and some of these, like, are named items, like Kjoktum's ointment. It's wondrous. But a lantern or revealing, that's not. Ooh, it says it's wondrous. To me, if there was magic in the world, I would say every magic item was wondrous. Okay, Mesa Terror. That's cool. Manual of Gainful Exercise. Now that's kind of cool because it is a book, you know. But there's Manual of Clay Golems, Manual of Flesh, and they did actually draw the flesh and the clay and the stone. Manual of Quickness, and there's Marinos Armor. So notice how it's the default picture. Mithril Armor. I could almost get away with that, but I thought, now Demon Armor's got its own picture. The Shackles. Yeah, I have to double check the cards because they stick together, and I'm thinking they're stuck together. But there's a Drift Globe. That's a little bit different than what I gave my player. But that's because different people have different interpretations. Dwarven Play, Dwarven Thrower, Free Chain, Elven Chain. There's your Adamantium. Alchemy Jug for all those guys that want mayonnaise. And these are Amulets, Shields, the Apparatus of Qualish, Armor of Invulnerability, Armor of Resistance. That looks like a Dark Elf armor, right? And this kind of looks like a Dwarven armor. I don't get it. Okay, Armor of Vulnerability, Armor of Shield Catching, and all that jazz. Bag of Beans, bag of all that stuff, bag of holding. All right, let's go to the second pile. I'm going to skip over that pile there. Rope of Entanglement. Why is it blue and glowing? I thought Rope of Entanglement just looked like rope. And does that look like a saddle? No. See, so I think that they did a good job on the ones that they did a good job on. But okay, Sentinel Shield. Well, at least there is a shield in the picture. But if you flip it, look how much space that takes up. None. They should have made that font bigger. They really should. They should have had it set to auto size. So when you do have a lot of writing on your card, it would automatically shrink down to this size. But if you have little bitty, that's a rope of climbing. Okay. That's why I say I'm disappointed, because of these two pictures. They use those for everything that they don't have. Ooh, Sphere of Annihilation. But, you know, and those are the only two things that okay. They also use the weapon rack on a weapon that they don't have a picture for. So, like, here is a vicious weapon. Which one? I guess it could be any. So that's actually pretty cool, because it is. But here we have Sword of Vengeance. Really? That's a Sword of Vengeance? Looks like a weapon rack. Any sword. Sword of Wounding. Any sword. But you see what I mean? There's a Talisman of Pure Good? How is that a talisman? Okay. This is pretty cool. Weapon. +1, +2, +3. In my day, weapons went up to +5. That's alright though. And look how much space it takes up. I know I'm harping on that. I've said that like 15 times. But that is the one thing that I complain about. The Sunblade, that looks really cool. Sword of Answering, not so much. Sword of Life Stealing, I like it. I like how it's split in the top there. That's pretty cool. Sword of Sharpness, kind of looks like it's a serrated edge sword, but I'm going to say it looks stupid. Okay. I would hope that the Sword of Sharpness would look more badass. Okay. Necklace of Fireballs, that's exactly what it is. Oath Bow. Now, how is that a Parapt? How is that? That's like a potion, right? Now, on the portable hole, that's one thing I wanted to say. On the portable hole, they actually just copied and pasted the picture for the book. They didn't like crop this guy out or crop the surround. I think because on all these other ones, they cropped all the surroundings out. On this one, they said, screw it. We're short on time. Let's just put that whole thing in there. Or they thought by putting the surrounding in, they would give you the intent of what a portable hole is. Maybe. I don't know what they were thinking. Okay, but the potions, right? Any extra potions, like that's a potion of animal friendship. It's not a potion. That's a potion bag full of all different kinds of potions. Potion of clairvoyance. Potion of climbing. You get the idea. They kind of like cut corners on some of these. But then on some of these, I've never seen these pictures. So it's like, where did they get these extra pictures from? That's not a robe. In any way, shape, or form, a robe's not even in the picture. There's a robe of stars, robe of the Archmage, robe of useful items. They could have went out and got just a generic robe on the shelf somewhere down at, I don't know, Belk's, and then photographed it. I mean, I don't know. Or they could have got their 12-year-old daughter to draw a robe, you know. Pearl of Power. That's not a pearl. Do I love these cards? Yes. Did they do all the work for me? 99% of the work is done. So when a player gets a specific magic item, I could just hand him the card, and he'll know all the abilities of that magic item. That way, I don't have to print it. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking this out. I'll see you next time.